You are listening to the Fresh Take Network.
What it is, what do you do? Welcome to Fresh Take. Joshua Adam William Arbuthnot with a very special edition of Drafted. First, let's go with our guest today. I'm Joshua Adam William Arbuthnot. Of course, we have the Prince of Charisma, the Crown Prince of Charisma, the head of We Talk Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Mo.
Let's also not forget the Futurists. I earned that one.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
so many. I've had so many predictions come through the last 2 years.
This is true.
Let's
All the AW.
Yeah, exactly.
We have one of the co-hosts at tonight's lineup. Fantastic to have him, an avid comic reader. He does a Marvel podcast on there as well. Knows his stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Nick onto the pod.
Thank you very much, Josh.
And the EVP of the Fresh Take Network, the curator of the Drafted podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Andy Kenyar.
Hello.
So, gentlemen, we came. Again, this is Andy's. The superhero draft idea came from me. But as far as on this site, We Talk Podcast did this first. So before I kind of get to the rules, everything, Mo, kind of talk about the first time you guys did something similar to this.
Yeah, well, as a fantasy football geek, I always was intrigued with the idea of doing something like this. So I came up with the idea a few years ago, and I had a lot of trouble selling it to the guys because, one of the guys I knew was also into fantasy football. Not everybody was. Eventually, I threw it in as a panel at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, and they picked it up. And we did it live as a panel, 5 people on the panel. And we did it a little bit differently in that we were essentially trying to build a company. And so you would be drafting the heroes, you'd be drafting the villains, you'd be drafting locations, and you were also doing things like artists and writer, and then you'd assign them to the books. And then the crowd at the end of the day voted on who they thought was the winner. Cool. And we didn't have a big crowd, but the crowd loved it. But it was kind of a nightmare, and it especially was a nightmare to take what we did live, even though we did record it, put it on this up on the site, to take that and to translate it into a podcast for listeners. I don't know how well that worked. I think this will work out a lot better.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. And Andy, I guess, kind of go to you really quick before I throw to Nick and we go to the draft. You came up with this Drafted podcast, and I know, you and I have done a few Marvel podcasts, so this is right up your alley.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think in the world that we're in currently with the virus and everything, we were desperate to try to come up with some content that would be, that would be, I think, what is Simmons call it, evergreen, something that's going to last a little bit.
That's what Mo likes to call it, the evergreen content.
Yeah,
that's what. That stuff's great.
This drafted idea I thought was really good. We've done 2 already. We did. Drafting a current NBA team, and that included locations and celebrity courtside guy. And
Montreal Expos, let's go.
Right?
Courtside.
Yeah, and I had my team was in Vegas, and I had Leo as my courtside guy. But and then we did one with sportscasters, so everybody's sort of favorite hosts and stuff like that. So this, I think, was a good way to kind of get it a little bit out of the sports realm. And obviously, I am a bit of a comic nerd as well. So this is right up my alley, too.
And then, Nick, when I kind of rounded this up, I knew Mo knows everything. We Talk Comics. Mo's writing a comic book right now. We're looking forward to. Yeah, Andy really.
In the lettering stages. It's halfway. It's just like 90 pages. It's a graphic novel, 200-page graphic novel, like 90 pages left a letter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whew.
Wow, that's awesome. What's it called?
The Kings of the Strip. It's about a fictional glam metal band in the 80s in Los Angeles.
Oh, nice. That sounds cool. Oh, that sounds fantastic.
All right, anyways, keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I just want to give you the plug because I'm excited for it. And I was hoping at the expo, which is now postponed, we get a little bit more chance to showcase and talk about it. But down the road, we will. And Nick, one of the reasons I wanted you on here, I know tonight's lineup, you guys have been a little bit lower on the shows right now. So I wanted to get you back in the audio realm, get those pipes going again. And
Fantastic.
also, your comic knowledge is one of the better ones I know as well. So
Let's hope.
yeah.
I'm up against some heavyweights tonight.
All right. So I'm going to start here. We're going to start before we know what the picks are. We're going to go snake draft order. I'm going with the draft lottery with a value of 1 each for each ball, like you would have, and going on draftpicklottery.com. So without any further ado, let's start the draft lottery for the superhero draft. With pick number 4, we go to Mo. We'll pick 4th overall. With pick number 3, it will be Andy. With pick number 2, it will be Josh, which means congratulations.
I was gonna say, if it's Josh, if Josh is picking 1, I'm calling fix.
I really didn't want that first pick. It's like being commissioner of both a basketball league and a football league. When I do this, I'm like, don't get the first pick. Don't get the first pick. Don't.
Also, I get first overall pick, hey?
Yeah, so again, you can kind of go wherever you want.
I was gonna ask. We can fill our spots in any order that we want, right?
Yeah, and I hope everyone's keeping track of their own, but I will be keeping track as well as the order of how everything goes for this. So round 1.
You want me to do some work? You want me to keep?
Yeah.
What? No. You just tell me who I'm allowed to pick.
So again, this will go in snake draft, by the way. So when we get to the next round, for the second round, I will have the first pick. Andy will jump to second, Mo to third, and then so on and so forth.
Okay, fantastic.
So Nick, you can go again. Obviously, the utility we don't do till afterwards. So number 1, when you make your pick, you'll be like, I pick this person, and they fill into this slot. So again, your options are no powers, villain, born with powers, acquired powers, and cosmic powers. Before we go, I know I had this conversation with Mo and with Andy, a little debate. What do we do with someone like Iron Man? Did we decide on that?
No powers.
No powers.
I'd say no powers.
Yeah. Okay, Nick. You're on the board.
Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to say first overall pick is going to go under acquired powers.
Yeah.
One of my absolute favorite comic book superheroes, one of my favorite cartoons growing up. I'm going to go with Spider-Man.
So the first pick is Spider-Man off the board. Nick takes his first acquired powers right there. Also, really quickly, do we want to, because Andy, you and I talked about this, do we want to qualify which Spider-Man you're taking? Or are we just saying just overall Spider-Man?
I think what I would love to hear is, whenever we pick a guy, is you give a little bit of background, kind of the reason why you're picking him, if there's a particular version of that character that you like, just so that everybody gets a chance to kind of talk about why. I mean, we're all picking guys that we have, an attachment to, and I think that it would be awesome to have everybody sort of tell that little bit of story behind it as well.
So, does he go like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man or Tom Holland Spider-Man, or how do we do it? Or he says,
I was going straight off.
It could be comic book version, yeah.
Okay, so you can say Miles Morales. You can say, so are you taking Peter Parker? Are you taking Miles Morales? Where are you going?
I will take Peter Parker.
Okay, excellent.
So Ben Reilly's still on the board, boys.
Yes. Okay. Wow,
yeah, I think I'm good. Out of curiosity, did we decide what we're doing with Green Lantern, where he fits?
No, I guess he would go. You could. I mean, some guys you can put in 2, right? Like a GL, you could go cosmic or you could go acquired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, yeah, no, I think that's fair. Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Okay, it's my pick, and with my first overall pick, I will go. And again, this can kind of go into 2 realms. You could go into the acquired to a degree, but you can also put a born with. I'm going to slide him into the born with, and we'll talk about it. But I'm going to go with Superman.
Ooh.
With my first pick, my favorite hero growing up. I don't own any superhero shirts except for one superhero shirt, which is Superman. The Christopher Reeves movie was one of the first movies I ever got a chance to see. I still think it's a classic. I still think it's one of the top 3 superhero movies of all time, and kind of really set the example of where everything's going to go. I remember waiting in line for the Doomsday episode comic and how much of a big deal that was, and then getting really confused where it went with Steel and everything.
Yeah, that was weird, hey?
Yeah, I was like, what is going on here?
I'm so excited for this. What the hell did I just read?
Kind of almost explaining that comic is kind of an explanation of DC with movies, of like getting excited for an idea and then it slowly drifting away. But yeah, Soups is mine. I mean, if I had to pick a certain one, it's obviously Clark Kent, but I probably lean towards the Christopher Reeves one. I think he's kind of the perfect example of the embodiment of truth and hope of what Superman brings. So that's mine. Yeah.
I just want to say Superman 2 even better than Superman.
Yeah,
As a
Superman
movie.
2 is
Superman 2 even better.
Throw in
Is
the
that one with Richard Pryor? Is that Richard Pryor?
No, Richard Pryor
That's
is
3.
Is that 3?
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
3.
That
Was it
filmed in
4 that
Calgary.
was shot? 4 was that shot in High River in Calgary?
3 is 3 in Calgary.
3.
Yeah.
3 is
3
Calgary,
is
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go Born with Powers there. You can technically, I guess, go acquired because he acquires them via the sun. But I'm gonna go.
Well,
with
they
Born
enhance them, so I think Bourne is a fair category.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's Born with Powers too.
Yeah.
All right, so I've done with Born with 1. Andy, you're on the board.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with somebody who I suppose could fall under 2 categories, but he's going to go under Born with Powers for me also. And when I look back on some of the reasons why I got into comic books, it was this guy. And he was a huge factor in terms of my comic book love, and it's Wolverine.
Oh, good pick.
I look back and I mean, as a comic book fan, I remember.
Sorry, Andy, where are you putting him?
He's going to go under Born with Powers.
Okay.
As a mutant, I think that has to be where it goes. As much as the claws, the adamantium is an added factor, but I think as a mutant, he's a Born with Powers character.
Awesome. Mo.
Yeah, I think when you're doing this, so when you're building a lineup like we are, no matter what you're doing, it's only as good as your villain.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you got to pick a villain first. And if you're going to pick a villain, to me, the top villain right now in all the comics right now is Thanos.
Damn it!
And so my favorite villain, he's been my favorite villain for many years. Thanos Quest, 2-issue graphic novel series, still maybe the best thing I've ever read. So he's my guy.
Damn, that was a good pick. That's someone that I was looking at. I know I had that pick coming up for the first pick, and I was like, I better.
I wanted
Thanos.
Superman, so shut it.
I was messaging Josh beforehand, and I said, "So, Soups, that's going to be your first pick." He's like, "I refuse to comment."
All right. With my next pick, I mean the villain one's a great.
Snake format, doesn't that make me?
Snake.
Yeah.
Snake
goes again, right?
I go a second time, don't I?
Yeah.
I guess so. Sorry, I kind of went the idea we moved up, but yeah, you're right. It goes Snake.
No, it's a snake. Yep.
It's a
Mo with the
snake.
double up.
Yeah, so I mean, how the hell is Batman still on the board?
Damn it, Mo's killing it early.
I mean, you guys left
out
Batman on the board. I mean, I was positive. I bet you if you do this with different people, 9 times out of 10, Batman's the first guy taken off. But so obviously he goes in with no powers, and he's. Do I need to say why I'm picking him? I'm picking the Batman because he's the Batman.
That's Val Kilmer's Batman, right?
Like,
No, it's Clooney's.
that's it.
With the
Oh, it's Clooney's.
He's Batman.
The
That's
Bat
like
He's the
Nips
most
are on the
popular-
board.
He's the most popular, the coolest character out there.
That's a badass back-to-back picks by Mo. I gotta hand it to you, Andy. You took Wolverine to start off with. Where you going?
So I'm gonna fall in line with my no powers character,
Mm-hmm.
and I am gonna go with the cornerstone of the MCU, and I'm gonna take Tony Stark and Iron Man.
Okay.
Tony Stark. Not too bad going with Tony Stark. All right, it's my pick here. I'm trying to decide where to go here. I'm trying to decide if I want to go with someone that I think I really, really want on my team or go with my heart. And this is where I always fall in sports drafts, so I'm going to go with my heart, and hopefully my other dream
That a
pick
boy.
doesn't hurt me. I'm going to go with Jon Stewart's Green
Oh,
Lantern.
that was my next
Oh,
pick. You
oh.
bitch.
That's my dude.
Oh.
I remember, just reading the comics for the longest time. You see Hal Jordan. I even saw Guy Gardner, and I did see Jon Stewart. I'm like, oh, damn, that's super cool. And then Justice League Unlimited. To me, everyone loves the Batman animated cartoon. It's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, to me, out of all, other than Mad Men, it's probably my favorite show in the history of television. I've rewatched that too many times to count. I still have it on a hard drive that I downloaded back in the days from Pirate Bay, and I've watched it over and over again. I think a lot of my DC lore has came from what they did. And, when they had the big fight at the end of Endgame, and I've told Andy this, but I'll share this with Nick and Mo, that big scene at the end of Endgame, I had that originally when Darkseid and Brainiac merged together, and the very last episode of Unlimited is when all the villains and all the heroes have to fight against this merged version of Darkseid and Brainiac. And it was everything that I wanted. You had everyone together with Sinestro and Green Lantern back-to-back helping each other, Superman and Lex Luthor helping each other, and then you had Green Lantern and GL and the great storyline he had with Hawkgirl, and Phil LaMarr doing a great job voicing him as well. So, yeah, John Stewart, Green Lantern for me.
That's a really good pick.
And where are you putting him? What are you gonna categorize him?
I would say I think he's Cosmic Powers.
That's what I would assume, yeah.
Yeah. Mo, you agree with that?
Yeah, I would go Cosmic Powers on him.
I know he gets but I go.
It's an acquired power, but
yeah.
I mean, he could really be under any, because I mean, he could say born with no powers.
Mm-hmm.
If you just look at the comics over the last 20 years or so, almost all of them take place in space instead of any Green Lantern story basically in space now. Mm-hmm. So rather than Earth. So yeah.
All right, Nick, what are you going with, buddy?
So do I get one pick or do I get a back-to-back, or is it one and then
back-to-back?
Because of Snake.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna take a villain off the board, and in my opinion, this is one of the biggest baddies on the planet. I'm gonna keep it in the Spider-Man world with Green Goblin.
Ooh, staying with Spider-Man area right there. Green Goblin, Norman Osborn.
Picking him. I love the pumpkin bombs. I love how he killed Gwen Stacy. Impregnated her at one point.
Yeah, he's a real bastard.
gave birth to the Hobgoblin, one of the greatest 90 heroes of all time, or villains rather.
One of my favorite characters in
I like
Spider-Man
Cobb, but I'm gonna go with.
People forget Mark Hamill voiced him too, by the way. Everyone talks about the Joker performance by Hamill, but he also did Goblin.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So there you go with your villain there. So who are you going with here, Nick? And I'm very anticipatively waiting because I know who my next pick is, and I'm hoping you don't take it.
Oh! Now I'm wondering if
I had 3 guys specifically I wanted, so I'm hoping you don't take the next guy I wanted.
I'm going to hopefully not step on the rules too hard, but I'm going to go Cosmic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go Kyle Rayner, the other Green Lantern.
Kyle Rayner.
And the book I'm going to cite.
Not the other Green Lantern, but the other Green Lantern, not the other Green Lantern.
Yeah. No, the other one, not the other one.
Yeah.
I like Kyle Rayner. He's a cartoonist in his real life, and the one that the book that I really like him in is the New Guardians one, and that's kind of where they booted it off with some of the New 52 stuff, and they kind of gave different aspects to the Green Lantern Corps. It wasn't just green and yellow anymore. They added passion and blue and yellow. So I'm gonna go Rayner.
He the White Lantern, didn't he?
He did. Yes.
Wow, that's a solid back-to-back picks there. I'm very happy because I'm going to get the 3 guys I wanted. I'm going with acquired powers, and I'm taking Calgary's Own from Todd McFarlane. I'm taking Spawn.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
I've recently been rewatching the HBO series that they did, David Keith voice, and I've been playing with him in Mortal Kombat 11 as well, and kind of reestablishing my love for Spawn. Movie's a little bit underrated too, a little cheesy, but a little underrated in some circumstances. I want to ask you, Mo, do you have any McFarlane questions? Like, do you guys interview McFarlane for We Talk Comics at all?
We once we took place when he was here in Calgary in the Calgary Comic Expo again. He did a scrum. And so we got a chance to take part in the scrum, but we didn't get a chance, unfortunately, to one-on-one to interview him. He's a busy man, to say the least. But yeah, no, Spawn, that cartoon is awesome. Mm-hmm. Like that cartoon, people don't talk about it enough. That was great. No,
it was a game changer. To the 2 kind of game-changing animations as being younger and a teenager that really was like, what is going on? Was between that and Heavy Metal. I was like, this is definitely not the Smurfs.
No, this is not the. I think the only problem I have with your pick is that I would argue he was dyed with powers. If we could make that as a category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Andy, you've taken Wolverine and you've taken Tony Stark. Where are you going?
So my next pick is somebody who's going to fall under the cosmic powers category. He's somebody that has been hinted at in the MCU. You got a brief glimpse of his horse face, and I am going to take Beta Ray Bill.
Oh my God!
Oh, whoa!
Whoa! Wow!
What? Wow!
Beta Ray Bill was one of my favorite. Like Beta Ray Bill, when he kind of came into the Thor universe. I was not a reader of the Thor comics at all, and when he came in, it was like the art in those books originally was so good, and it was such a unique idea to have kind of a foil for Thor, who in the origin story. When he joins is somebody who is not only a foil for Thor, but somebody who's actually better than Thor. And it forces Odin to craft a hammer specifically for him. And I love the story. I love the idea of how it kind of tied into the Galactus universe as well. And with Silver Surfer, he was somebody that I just loved in the comics itself. So yeah, Beta Ray Bill, he's my guy.
That Walt Simonson run on Thor, where he created Beta Ray Bill right away, like right at the start. That's like one of the great runs in history, definitely.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I was never a Thor person. I mean, I think now if you were to ask me, like in the MCU, who's your favorite character, I would say it's Thor. And it's weird because I'm like, if it wasn't for Beta Ray Bill, I wouldn't have even liked the comic as a kid growing up.
So Beta Ray Bill got off the board. Did not see that one. Andy out of nowhere with that one, like an RKO.
Yeah.
Mo, back-to-back picks for you. Last time you really threw the Infinity Gauntlet on us, legit.
Yeah. And I'm tempted to do that as well to stick along that lines, but I gotta keep my roster strong and diverse. And if I'm gonna go diverse, let's take the first female off the board. And of course, that's gonna be the one and only person I think you can go first if you're going with the female. She's the iconic character that you based everything. All the female characters are following her footsteps, much like all the male characters follow in the footsteps of Superman, and that's Wonder Woman. The idea of having Batman and Wonder Woman and Thanos on the same roster. Oh, yeah. I got some heavy hitters there.
Yeah, you're gonna kick most of our asses with that one. That's a great pick. I guess we're putting Wonder Woman is born with powers. I would say, right?
Yeah, born with powers. Yeah, and then I might as well, like I say, keep it up with the diversity. Let's go with some cosmic powers. And if we're gonna be doing this, and I have Thanos, I need somebody who can take him on. That would be the Silver Surfer.
Oh my God, Mo, stop!
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, come on, the Silver Surfer. Even though surfing isn't as cool as it was when that character was, created, the image of the Silver Surfer going through space, is there still to this day? Is there a cooler image than that?
No, it's
the art in those when he was originally put in was just so good.
It's some of Kirby's best stuff.
Yeah, so good.
And then Mobius afterward did some stuff with it, and it's just awesome. And
Buscema, I believe, had a nice run on there.
Buscema did. Ron Lim did some really good Silver Surfer. He's always had strong artists, and who was it recently who did it? I can't remember his name. Oh, he did Madman also. What the hell's the guy? Can't remember his name, but it's too bad. But he's a wicked character and real powerful.
Andy, you're on the board.
All right, well, I'm going to put since Thanos has come off the board as a villain, I'm going to try my very best to one up, and I'm going to one up with the bad guy from one of my favorite Marvel sort of mini-series books, and I am going to go with the guy who I also hope will be the big bad coming up in the next phase of the MCU. I am going to go with the Beyonder.
Oh.
Secret Wars to me it kind of came out, and it was the very first sort of storyline in Marvel that sort of connected all the characters. And it was one of those where you were like, you couldn't just read the books that you liked. You couldn't just read the Secret War titled comic. You had to start to read other books that you weren't necessarily really interested in. So you really did know what was going on. I love that story. I am, Josh and I have talked about it a bunch. I certainly hope Secret Wars is part of the MCU. I would love to see, the that version of Battle Worlds to get all, as they grow the characters, to get all of them together, I think it would be very much an end game type of move to have them all fighting together. But all of that is all predicated around the Beyonder.
That's a fantastic pick. Mine, I guess, could go into two kind of categories here. You can go into acquire powers and into villain, but together we are Venom.
Oh.
Eddie Brock. I debated between Flash Thompson Venom because I love Agent Venom. Really great run in comic there with Agent Venom. I actually don't mind the new kind of roundabout Harry Osborn Venom they're going with. I like that storyline they've been going there, but I'm going to stay with the classic with the Eddie Brock Venom. It's the one that brought us all to the dance. My question is, where is Venom? Because he's kind of an anti-hero, so would you go more acquired, or is he in the villain category? I'm putting him in acquired. I'm going to get a judge ruling, though.
I put him in acquired as well.
Yeah, I think acquired would be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he fits in both, like you said, but I think, acquired is fine, too.
Nick, you got the back-to-back Jacks.
Oh, this is a tough one. Like, I'm looking at everybody's roster, and I'm trying to think on the fly here. Okay, I'll finish off with my second and last Cosmic pick while he's still on the board. In my opinion, this is one of the few superheroes who can rival Superman. In my opinion, he's a better leader. I'm going to go with the Man from Mars, Martian Manhunter.
Ooh, I like that one.
Ooh, nice pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to try and keep up with you boys.
What category did you have him in?
Cosmic.
Cosmic, okay.
Yeah.
Or are we going? Or does that have to be acquired because he's born with?
Somebody
get
a fire superhero.
I think you could just say either one with him. That's what I was wondering. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
If allowed, I'd like to put him in Cosmic.
Yeah, I would go Cosmic.
Because that's going to screw up my list later on.
Dude,
as soon as you're talking about an alien, I pretty much figure Cosmic is a good fit.
Yeah. That's what I was.
Hello?
All right.
What the hell happened there?
Okay.
Somebody hit their mic or something?
Nick, you still there? That's who we lost.
There
You
go.
lost somebody. All right, then by default, then he loses, right?
Yeah. Remove him from the call, quick.
We're going to banish you from the process.
Yeah.
So I'm going to recall him right there because I
What
think
are his picks again? We each get one, right?
Yeah. So we get Martian Manhunter.
These guys go back into the draw.
We got you back on there, Nick.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we lost you.
There you
There. Okay.
Weird. I wonder what happened.
It sounded like a mic got hit off or something.
Shit. Sorry about that, boys.
Oh, it's okay. You got one more pick to go. Where are you going?
I'm going to put this guy in a villain category, even though he's strayed the line. Oh. No, how about Born with Power? I'm going to try Born with Powers.
Sure.
If I don't get overruled. I'm going to go with Magneto.
I'd say villain.
Yeah, I'd say 85, 90% of he's been a villain. He has had sometimes.
He has been a member of the X-Men for a period of time also.
Yeah.
Because currently right now he's running Croatia with the rest of the mutants, and he's on the council working alongside Professor X. So I feel that he's a little more on the hero side of things. But if I'm outruled, I'm outruled.
Well, let's put it to a vote. I vote villain.
I vote villain.
Well, my vote doesn't even matter. I would have let you have him at Born with.
Well, your vote does matter because that would make it a tie. Yeah. And then we have to go to the will of the gods and we roll a dice. And if it's any an odd number, if it's an odd number, you get him. If it's even, you don't.
So you get him at villain next. So you have both your villain picks are gone now until you get back to utility.
Okay, I will go with him under villain. Because I got to try and stop Wolverine and Tony Stark somehow. So
there you go. And you can take the Infinity Gauntlet off too.
That's what I'm hoping for. So
yeah.
Good luck, boys.
I'm going to take our second female off the board, and I'm going to go with Cosmic. Actually, no, I'm not going to go Cosmic. I'm going to go with Born with. I'm going to go with Badass. I'm going to go with Storm.
Nice.
Oh, good pick. Good pick.
I'm going to go with Storm.
Do we want to just as we pause here for a second, do we want to create another category of just specifically female heroes?
I
think it would be fun to have that as an added category, so everybody has to pick a female to fall.
I think we're kind of past that now.
I think we're kind of it is something that Josh and we discussed it. I brought it up and threw it out as a suggestion as well. And Josh, I think you said that you'd like to see it so that they're just picked and treated like every other hero or villain.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. I was just eager to get an extra lady on my team. That's all.
I'm always looking for next lady.
You got the next pick. Go ahead and do it then.
Okay, so but my pick is going to fall under acquired powers, and this is also going to have to go to a vote because I am going to choose Jean Grey, but as the Phoenix.
Ooh.
To me, that's cosmic.
Yeah, I would say cosmic.
It doesn't fall under as an acquired power.
I'd say cosmic.
I'd say that's cosmic.
The Phoenix Force is something that she acquired.
Yeah, but then we come to the same issues with the Green Lantern.
But you could also say the Green Lantern ring is acquired, and it's technically cosmic.
Yeah. No, I'm throwing it out there for the group vote as everybody else has.
Yeah, I'd say. What do you say, Nick?
I would probably say a little more of that cosmic.
Sure. Okay. Then I will put the Phoenix under a cosmic power then.
That means that's your second you no longer have any cosmic picks until we get back to utility.
Yeah.
All right, Mo, you're back to knocking us out of the park again.
Yeah, and I'm going back to back again, and it's so like this is damn hard. You know that, guys? Like this really is. But acquire powers. He's still on the board. The Hulk.
Yeah, Ooh. I was looking at him.
He's a wild card though.
Yeah, he is a wild card.
There you go.
He has acquired powers. He is a wild card. I'm gonna go. I probably don't even need to do this. I'm doing this. I figure I probably could get this guy maybe in the bonus rounds. But when I look at my villain, I want to round it out. I want to do it, and I want to go with the Spectre.
Oh shit! Nice.
So if I put him and Thanos as my two villains, I just think I'm laughing.
Damn it, Mo! That was a really good pick.
That's a strong villain right there.
Yeah, I think so. And he's also one of those guys who can kind of plays both sides when need be. But yeah.
Does Spectre have a girlfriend that the Green Goblin could impregnate by chance?
I think Nick. So that'll be the classic Spectre. So that way one of you can still take one of you can still take Hal Jordan's Spectre if you want.
Oh yeah, okay.
Andy, you're back on the board.
Okay, so I'm going to round out my villains, and I am going to go with another mutant, but I am going to go with the original mutant, and I'm going to take El Sabernur, also known as Apocalypse.
Oh my good God.
Yeah.
Not the crappy Fox movie version of Apocalypse, because that was just terrible and ruined what I thought was such a great character, but the one that I know and love from the comics.
He's written so well right now in Excalibur. He's so good in Excalibur right now.
So I got to have a controversial take here. I've always thought that his character design was really lame, honestly. I have never been a fan of the character design. I think the concept is great, but I've never been a fan of that character design personally. Character's great though.
It fit into the art of the X-Men universe well. Yeah. But I agree that they're certainly for such a badass character, but I think you could say that Apocalypse kind of was you had two versions of the same guy with Darkseid, the kind of very similar look and feel and all of that between the two characters.
Yeah, there's something to that. And there's even Thanos, you could say the same thing. But yeah. I think it was the A on the belt, the big A, that always has bugged me the most.
Especially when he grew, when he was a big size, and the A was like bigger than a normal person. You're like, oh.
Come on now.
All right, you guys are taking really good villains off the board, so I'm gonna just jump and get one of my main number one pick for a villain, and that is the Collector of Worlds, the smartest villain that there is, Brainiac.
Yeah, that's a hell of a good pick.
Yeah,
put us all into bottles and.
Specifically, if you agree, I really like to focus on the Red Sun version of Brainiac. He's one of the more manipulative ones that there is out there, of letting Red Sun Superman think that he's trapped him and then collecting data on him to turn on him. He's gonna be he's such a smart hero, villain that is, and I'm and you can get the bots out and everything like that. I'm very excited to have Brainiac on the squad.
Good pick, Josh.
You're up, Nick.
All right, so I actually did a little research on this next one to make sure that this person was born with their powers, and as far as I can tell, she is. It's a she, and I'm gonna go with Zatanna.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Was she on your list?
Yeah, she was my no powers.
No powers?
Because she technically gets it from her father, the ability to become magic, right?
I thought that was born into her. That's what I was trying to figure out.
I think she just knows the spells and can say them backwards. That's why. Yeah.
That's a fucking damn it.
I think that's a strong pick.
That's a great pick. One. It was on my list for Now
I'm going to go with an acquired power, and I'm going to try and stop Mo with his Hulk, and I'm going to go with his cousin She-Hulk.
Oh, nice. Damn. Yeah, we don't need the females. We got the females coming off.
Yeah, we do.
Wow, that is a fantastic back-to-back picks there, Nick. Congratulations.
Couple of little 1-2 punch. I was surprised anybody went for Zatanna. I thought that'd be my dark horse, but I'm glad I got her.
Well, I'm gonna go and gonna go with my cosmic powers, and I'm gonna pick Captain Marvel.
Nice.
Beauty.
For my cosmic powers, and have her and Superman together. Have fun going against me.
So you're going with Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers, yeah.
Fair enough. Great.
Yeah. Andy, you're on the board.
Okay, so I'm going to fill out my second Born with Powers, and I'm going to add a lady to my roster, and she has been explained by Kevin Feige to be the most powerful character in all of the MCU, and I'm going to take Scarlet Witch.
Damn it.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That's a sleeper. That's a sleeper pick right there.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
Anybody who can snap out in 2 words, all the mutants on Earth has got to be powerful in my books.
That's good. That's a great pick there, Andy.
House of M is just an epically good comic run as well, and I'm super excited to see this whole. The stories that are going to come out now on Disney Plus, and then with Doctor Strange, to see that version of her. We've got little glimpses in the MCU of the OP version of her, and I'm excited to see that just grow in the movies and the shows.
All right, Mo, where are you going?
Well, I can't believe that my all-time favorite character is still on the board. I'm so damn happy. I've been wanting him, but I strategically waited, and it came to me. So happy to be able to pick up Shazam.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go Matter-Eating Man.
With who?
Matter-Eating Man.
No.
Lad.
I was Molecular Man? Because Molecule Man? He's the one who did kill the Beyonder.
Condiment King?
Condiment King. Oh, that would be good. Yes.
Yeah.
Scud the Disposable Assassin. There's all sorts of good characters, but
Shazam
I'm still going with Shazam.
What are you going to? That's acquired, right? Obviously.
It's acquired powers, but I mean, this is a character that was outselling Superman. So DC sued Fawcett Comics and won a court case because he was too similar in a court case that would never have won. Now, comic history could have been vastly changed. If this how great that character was. He was so popular.
If that had not happened. A kid. It's a kid. Everyone wants to be a superhero. You're selling to kids, and here's a kid that's a hero.
Yeah, brilliant. It's so perfect. And it's a real shame because Marvel has a character called Prime, and they're not able to use the character for various reasons. And it's basically a very similar concept. And I miss that character because it's just a great concept. Kids, you relate to it, right? You relate to being and he's so pure. He's such a good hero. And then I'm going to take acquired. I'm going to go with somebody who I think is on my other pick.
You have 2 acquired picks, I think.
I think, that this will be my second one. So I'm taking.
Wait a minute, I have you down as 2.
Oh, do I have? Oh, that's right.
Oh, would I have acquired Thanos?
Hulk.
Thanos.
Oh,
yeah.
Hulk you're right. I got Hulk. You're right. I got Hulk.
Who else? I have you for 2 for some reason, though.
Yeah, because I just did Shazam.
Right. Yeah. So that would be 2. Yeah.
Oh, he may have shot himself in the foot. We're back in it, boys.
He would have if the fact that you guys haven't picked Captain America yet with no powers. And now I got Captain America and
that should be
Batman.
acquired power.
I would say acquired.
Super serum is acquired.
I'd say acquired.
Wait. I'm going to argue that's not acquired because as a superhero, that formula technically only made him to the ability of the most the greatest ability of what a human being can reach. So he couldn't even lift like a ton. Like he's about 800 pounds, I think is his. It was what the official handbook of the Marvel Universe said. He has he's a peak
120-pound weakling.
No, but his peak abilities is an Olympic level athlete at its max. That's what his ability is. Olympic level athlete. That's still no powers.
I don't know.
I would say that's acquired.
I think it's.
I'd say it's acquired. I think it's
as the character developed, it was no longer just a peak human athlete.
Yeah.
He became the super serum was something that was created.
It
somebody who was on par with someone like Spider-Man.
Yeah. Sorry, Mo.
You guys are you suck. I don't know if I mentioned that.
You fought hard though. You fought hard.
I disagree strongly with your. Now you've really thrown me up because I wasn't sure if I would be able to get Emma Frost, and now which is what I was going to do.
We're talking about guys
okay, let's
jacked up through a needle. What? Just Barry Bonds.
Well, he would be a villain clearly.
Okay, acquired powers. That is acquired powers, though.
That is definitely acquired powers. I said
You're
he's
not
just
in
on
the Hall of
roids.
Fame because
All right.
you acquired powers.
Daredevil.
Oh.
Huh? There we go. Daredevil.
Good
That's
pick.
no powers. Right?
Yeah, I but you have 2 of those.
Acquired powers, or is that no powers?
Acquired.
That's acquired as well. Damn it! I don't think.
I
it's
had
a
that under
radar.
no powers.
It's a radar. I say he's no powers.
To be clear,
But
Mo,
he gets the toxic waste that spills on him, no different than Spider-Man getting bit by a radioactive spider.
Yeah, but
that just took away his sight.
Yeah, he got blind, and he got a radar.
And he got heightened.
Okay, he got
senses.
enhanced sense. God, you guys suck. It's killing me here.
I'm glad we figured that out because that was on my
what
list.
Are the categories?
Yeah.
What are the categories?
Okay, okay. So Mo, right now you have 1 non-power, you have 2 villains, you have 1 born with powers, you have 2 acquired, and you have 1 cosmic.
I'm going with Thor then.
Okay, fair enough. We're gonna go with born with, right?
I'm going with born with and Thor.
Okay.
Yeah. And wait. Born with. I'm going with not Thor. Emma Frost. That's who I was gonna pick.
Okay, there you go.
I somehow got it in my head that you had said that I had 2 born with. But Emma Frost, to me, she's I mean, she's a little bit. She also could be
She's
a villain,
mutant, though, isn't she?
She's a mutant, exactly. She's born with, so I can take that. And she is, to me, the coolest female character in the Marvel universe. It's
also
just
ruined by Fox.
Oh, well, yes, but if we're gonna make that list, that's a whole other.
Hey, she was played by January Jones. She was fine.
She was
She was
fine.
good to look at. She was terrible.
She was good to look
else,
at.
though.
But yeah, the character. She's a great character.
All right, not too bad. Andy.
So I'm going to put somebody into the acquired power. I'm not going to jump on Mo's, failed attempts at trying to move people out of acquired powers.
This is your first acquired.
I am going to go with the master of the mystic arts, and I am going to go with Doctor Strange.
Nice.
Well, his powers are far more acquired than Captain America's. So give me that.
I mean, I think I should be able to put him under no powers because really he doesn't have any powers. He's able to use magic.
Yeah.
That is true. But I'm going to go with that. It's my pick next. I'm going to go with no powers, and I can't believe this guy hasn't been taken because it's just a layup with no powers. I'm picking Ant-Man. Scott Lang. Thank you very much.
That reaction you heard there was all of us saying, "You can have them."
Yeah, that's all yours, buddy.
Hey man, you got to fill out those non-powers, and I'll take Ant-Man.
All right, so I'm up.
Yeah, back to back, bud.
All right, I'm gonna put this first name out there because hopefully it doesn't cause too much controversy like Mo did. But I'm gonna go no powers, and I'm gonna go with a man who's 6'7", 380 pounds, Conan the Barbarian.
Lou Ferrigno?
Conan the
Arnie. No, drawn by Barry Windsor Smith. I'm gonna go with Conan.
That's a heck of a good pick. Yeah.
That's a very interesting.
That said, we had said earlier that we couldn't do like Star Wars and things like that.
Yeah. He was under the Marvel banner though. When Barry
was
that was Marvel.
I know so Star Wars though. But he's a pulp fiction character, right? He was a series of books before he was a comic book character. So
Star Wars is also a Marvel banner, by the way.
Pardon me?
What? Star Wars is now under the Marvel banner, is it not?
Yes, it is. But I'm just saying that technically he's a character not from comic books first, but from books, from novels. But again,
it's like a fantasy.
I'll throw it out there as
not necessarily.
What do you say, Andy?
I will give him the benefit of the doubt, but I think it still falls under fantasy. Like I'm not going to pick Legolas as one of my non-powered people. Which I think is really kind of the same thing out of a book, but it doesn't really strike me as a superhero.
I've only ever known him as the comic or as the movies. So I thought it'd be okay. It did exist
in a comic, so I will give it to you as a comic.
So you're no longer have any no power picks there.
I thought that was my first no power.
Because you have Spider-Man, right? Sorry, I messed it up. Yeah, that's your first one.
Okay, I'm going to try. Ooh, do I do another no power? Actually, no. Yeah, so you know what? Maybe I'll go with another no power, I guess. Sure. And I'm gonna go with Falcon.
Are you going with Falcon, or are you going Captain America Falcon?
I was gonna go with Falcon.
Okay, dope.
Ride the Tony Stark coattails a little bit.
Nice. I'm going to go with the villain and just keep the power going here because then I don't have to have him face Superman. So I'm going to pick Darkseid. Thanks.
Ooh, nice. Nice. Damn.
That's a good one.
So now I have Superman's two biggest rivals working with him.
Well, except for
now.
There's a little guy named Lex Luthor. I don't know if
I don't have Lex Luthor, but the two OP ones don't have to worry about. Parasite's still out there and Toyman too. If anyone's really tempted to take Toyman.
I hope he's going to be right after Crazy Quilt.
Yeah. Andy.
I'm going to jump in here and I am going to steal one of Mo's versions and I'm going to put my another acquired power roster spot and I am going to take the Man Without Fear and I will take Daredevil.
He was already taken. Oh no, he wasn't.
He wasn't. I tried. You guys wouldn't let me.
Oh.
I'm still pissed about. I'm not pissed about that one. The Captain America though, I've never thought of him as having powers.
All right, Mo. It's time for your revenge in the back-to-back picks.
Oh well, do I only have the one left, don't I, to fill out?
One left to fill out, and then we get the two bonus picks, right?
We get the bonus pick, so you can pick this pick, and then you can pick whatever the fuck you want again.
That's what I was thinking.
You can get Cap here if you want.
So all you have. Actually, no, Mo has two picks still because he still has a Cosmic and he still has a no power.
I thought I picked my two Cosmics. No, I'm looking through here. I did not?
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well, sorry, it was Cosmic and what was the other one? No power, right? No power.
No power.
Well, I think I'm going to do no power first. So I've been thinking about that because that one I was expecting to have to do. Does Winter Soldier count as no powers?
Yep.
All right.
Doesn't he have the Super Soldier Serum as well?
That's why I took him off my list because I thought he had the same.
Bucky falls under the same thing as Cap. That's why he has the same power set as Cap.
Isn't he more a trained assassin though, and then he has the arm? Because that's what you're thinking, right?
He's super.
That's what I was thinking.
Super strong, super speed. He has all the same characteristics as Cap.
But I think he's more trained that. I don't think he takes the serum. He's more trained about that.
You know what? Forget it. I'm taking Moon Knight.
Oh shit!
Oh,
yeah!
Wow.
Yeah!
Damn it, Mo!
Batman and Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's pretty
cool. Actually, I didn't even think about that. All right, I'm picking. Oh man, I get the first pick. Now I could do Captain America. You say, oh, and I really want Captain America
because
because
you can't. You have Cosmic still.
You have
one
to. You have
Cosmic.
to
Oh, I
fill
still
out
have
a
to my
Cosmic.
Cosmic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have another Cosmic. I have Silver Surfer, right?
Yes.
Who do you put with? Well, if I'm going to pair somebody with Silver Surfer, I'm going to go with. I have Thanos. I have Silver Surfer. I should definitely put Adam Warlock in there, shouldn't I?
Oh.
I was hoping to get him
one.
utility.
Yeah, because that's another great character, man. I'm happy to have him. He's one of my favorites. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for him to show up in MCU ever since the tease at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Right.
And then and I'm like, how the hell does somebody beat Thanos without Adam Warlock there to
The Infinity Gauntlet story doesn't happen in the comics without Adam Warlock.
No, he's the brains who brings down. He's the only man who understands Thanos better than himself and understands his weakness and leads to his downfall. He's a brilliant strategist. Oh yeah, so I'm definitely picking him. That'll be good. Hey man,
That's
a great pick. Andy, all you have left right now is no powers.
Yeah, so I mean, no powers for me here. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna be probably the only guy with two ladies on his team, and I am gonna add Black Widow.
I have two ladies. So does
I
Nick.
have two ladies.
There you go. So I'm gonna add Black Widow. I think she's a perfect fit with Tony Stark, and that'll round out my no powered guys.
I'm surprised. Actually, when you said you were going with a woman, my first thought was that you were going with Catwoman. And I thought, hey, that'd be cool. But this is good too. Black Widow.
This is good too.
that one will work also.
Yeah.
Man, so I got the no power as well. I mean, Howard the Duck is right there. He's just sitting right there.
Yeah, him and Ant-Man are going to be paired up real nice. You got like an art yard going on.
Friendship.
At this point, who paid you to take a dive, Josh?
I in my heart, I really want to take the question because I've always really liked him, but I just don't know how he would stack against everything you guys have had. So I'm going with the Huntress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, you could go with the Batgirls and everything like that, but I think Huntress is better than any of them of how badass she can be, except in this fucking Harley Quinn movie that just came out.
I couldn't even finish it, to be honest with you.
It's really bad.
I apparently ruined it for Josh with my rant, but apparently, but then he saw the movie and realized that there was nothing to ruin.
Yeah, that's why no one's gonna take Black Mask now.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I'd love you to ruin it with your rant right now. Please go ahead. I would love to.
Please.
Absolutely one of the worst comic book movies I have ever seen. And coming from DC, that is saying something. But the sad part is they only had one reasonably well put together character, and that was Black Mask.
I don't even agree with that.
He was killed off so easily that it was like, really? That's it? The only character that has any substance here is going to be just like shot by one bullet at one time, like no epic fight or battle or anything. Just like bang, you're dead.
It made Suicide Squad look like
Jones,
Citizen Kane.
He shoots the guy with the sword and he just pulls the gun out and shoots him once. It was just like that. Bang, that's it. You're done. What? That's it. I watched an hour and 20 minutes of this crap just for you to shoot him once.
It makes Suicide Squad look like Parasite or Citizen Kane.
That's crazy. That's insane. And Black Mask is such a cool character to do that to him.
Nick, your last pick of the normal picks, Born with Powers.
All right, men. Every great team needs a leader, a strategist, and somebody who will prevail when times get tough. And there's nobody better than that in the Marvel Universe than Professor X.
What's up, Captain America?
I was
maybe Cyclops.
No, because I can screw with you guys mentally.
Professor X. All right, Nick. You can really do whatever you want now, man. For the utility
player. I remember at one point we were talking about sidekicks, so I actually have a sidekick down that I think is almost cooler than the main. I'm going to go with Abe Sapien from Hellboy.
Ooh.
Nice.
I think so. A little bit of a sleeper pick. Great marksman, incredibly well read. I I think right now he's about the only guy who can sufficiently fight underwater if need be. So.
Yeah. My pick is next, and I'm surprised this guy never went all the way to this round. I'm taking Deadpool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can't die, realistically. Great healing factor. Yeah. What else can you really say about Deadpool? I'm gonna go with Deadpool right there.
Nice
Andy.
pick. I like that.
Thank you, sir.
So I'm gonna pick. I'm somebody who likes villains. So both my utility guys are both gonna be villains if I get my chance. But the first one I'm gonna take is in seeing how the rest of this has gone down, and knowing that I'm gonna have to deal with the Silver Surfers and all of that of the world. I may as well take the man who he has to answer to, and I'm gonna add Galactus.
Oh God, damn it!
Yeah.
Great pick.
Yeah.
I thought I could sneak him.
That's a good pick. I mean, if Mo would have got him,
I was just gonna say I can't let this. I got to deal with Mo and Thanos and no, I have Apocalypse.
All right, so okay, that's pretty good.
Spectre.
Yeah.
But as soon as he had Silver Surfer and Thanos, I knew I had to come up with something that was going to be able to match up to that power level.
All right, Mo, your final back-to-back picks.
Well, I'm the first off. I'm going with another villain. I just want, if I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to put together a powerhouse team, and I'm looking at our villain. I'm going to go with Ultron. Ultron. Forget that. That's the one character MCU really. Well, maybe not the only character, but that's a character MCU didn't quite do justice to. Great character, and
fantastic.
Yeah. So I think he's a.
The main foil to the Avengers, like the most consistent bad guy to the Avengers through the comics, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really tempted. I wasn't gonna do this. I'm gonna do this now. You pick Galactus. I'm going Anti-Monitor.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay.
Can we just have the movie of Mo's villains versus Andy's villains? Jesus. I mean, my villains are pretty good with Brainiac and Darkseid, but damn.
They're good. Don't get me wrong, but I got 4, and yeah, I'm happy with them.
Well, wow, I'm gonna, as I said, I am also going to go with the 4 villains. Obviously, Mo and I like our comics the same way, but I am going to take somebody who no one has even considered the main group that battles this guy.
Oh, fuck off.
But I am going to take Dr. Doom.
I knew it.
Oh, he was high on my list.
I know. I'm going back and forth on who I'm going to pick between him and Ultron.
If I have to deal with a Secret Wars, you can't do Secret Wars without Dr. Doom.
Well, Andy, that's a great pick, and that was a doctor I liked, but there's another doctor I really like, and it's Dr. Manhattan.
Ooh, shit.
Ooh. Well played.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll go over the guys after. I just kind of realized as soon as you talk to Dr. Doom, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's another doctor on the board. Nick, last pick of the draft. Who are you ending us with?
I want to make sure I pronounce this right, but I always say it wrong. It's from DC Comics. This is also a villain, kind of like a mystical kind of villain. It's a she, and she is the mother of the Anti-Monitor, Petrula.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's a nice obscure pick.
If I pronounce that right, because I'm never sure if I am.
I think all right. What the hell? One more bonus round. Let's go.
Yes, you so actually want
bonus round.
Fine.
I want really bad.
Fine, we'll do one more. Nick, you're on the board, I guess.
One more bonus round?
So many good people left.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are on the board still.
You know what? This one is almost a throwaway pick, but I kind of like him so much, and he's never used. Oh, wait. No, I'm going to go Mr. Sinister from the X-Men.
Son of a bitch. That's who I wanted.
Is it?
Yep, that was Nathaniel Essex. I love, like, one of the best drawn characters in all of X-Men baddies.
Kind of a vampire. What was he? First, I just bought the book. 121, I think, was his first appearance. First full appearance with the Marauders.
121 of the X-Men. Yeah, with the Marauders. Somebody who was created by Apocalypse and then is in the where he's basically he comes in, he tries to get Cyclops and Madeline Pryor to have a kid, which becomes Cable, because he feels like he can control their child to eventually kill Apocalypse. Super good storyline. Super good story.
It's really good.
I mean, at this point, I'm kind of just forced my hands. I think it's only out of respect that I have to pick this guy. I'm picking the Clown Prince of Crime. I'm picking Joker. Mm-hmm. I have enough power villains on my time. It's time to take a secret genius on here to just be an absolute maniac.
I'm surprised by that. Well, I'll say once the other two picks are done. But Josh, I'll say afterwards who I thought you were going to take.
I had someone I definitely wanted there, but I had someone I definitely wanted, but I'm like, I can't disrespect Joker by not letting him get drafted.
He was, I was surprised he was on the board.
Yeah. Andy?
Oh, one more, eh?
Let's do one more round back to Nick, and then we're done.
Yeah.
So we haven't even.
I agree. 2 more rounds back to Nick, and then we're done.
2-3 rounds.
This is it. Ho gets his back to back because I want an even 4 picks. That's why.
The snake draft format. We gotta respect the snake draft.
Respect the snake.
Okay. And go. You have 2 picks to go.
So my pick is going to be a little bit more of an obscure character, but somebody that was part of the X-Men and the New Mutants world, and I am going to take Longshot.
Ooh.
Who I loved as a character. He was, somebody who was in love with magic. Part of the Mojo World storyline. I loved his character. Kind of like a Gambit type of character almost, but he was one of my favorites in that New Mutants X-Men river. So I'm going to go with a Longshot.
Damn. Mo, your last back-to-back picks.
Okay. And there's so many. There's just so many characters.
God damn, is there ever? Yeah.
Like and they're good characters. They're not like there's so many. Not to mention some of the cool obscure ones that you could pull out. But how can Flash not get taken? It seemed to me if you're talking about it would be disrespectful not to take.
Which Flash?
For me, it's Barry Allen.
Okay.
That's my guy. Though I like Wally West too, but for me, it's Barry Allen Flash. But yeah, I mean, geez. And then if I'm taking him and I'm kind of looking and I have all these super powerful villains and somebody took Dr. Manhattan, I got to counter that. And I think the way you do that is with Solar, Man of the Autumn, or Atom, or however you pronounce it. Solar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Andy, your last.
Does everybody know him?
I do not know. Well, I'm saying wow.
Do not know.
Tell me more.
Okay. This is a character originally. I think it was Gold Key Comics. He's a scientist who he's basically a god. When all the characters that Watchmen are based on are these Charlton Gold Key characters. Dr. Manhattan is based on Solar, and who probably was most famously known in the 90s. He had a series from Valiant, and recently I think it was Dynamite that did some with him. So look him. I'm sending you an image. We're on Skype. I'm gonna send you an image of Solar, Man of the Atom. He's a really cool character.
Andy, your last pick.
Well, I mean, I have gone to as powerful a characters as I possibly can, especially on the villain side. So I'm going to take somebody who's supremely powerful also, but is more of a neutral type character. And I am going to take the Living Tribunal as my last pick. Which you want to talk, I mean, obviously falls into the cosmic realm, but I think when you look at, they talk about, the Celestials and the sort of the main characters that came at the Big Bang. I'm going to have 3 of them. I'm going to have the Living Tribunal. I'm going to have Galactus, and I'm going to have the Phoenix Force. So good luck, boys. I
thought about him, and I thought that almost seems unfair because he doesn't fight anybody. He's not really a villain. He just, he doesn't. He's not a villain. He's not a hero.
He's somebody who can come in, and if the world is out of whack, he just arbitrarily puts shit back to the way it should be. So in a utility role, I figure, hey, I'm going to have somebody who's going to be like the referee of this whole thing, and he's going to make sure everything comes out good at the end.
That's it. We finally have an official. Somebody took an official for the. That's it. Now we have for the games, because I think in Marvel, the one that is above all is the only character that's ahead of the more powerful that the Living Tribunal answers to.
Yeah, they have Unity, Destiny, the Living Tribunal, and that. Yeah, like you said, the one above all. I mean, that's a slam dunk, easy pick. And I love the backstory that basically the idea behind the one above all was just it was Stan Lee. Stan Lee was basically the one above all. But that I figure that's when you take God in the superhero world, that's probably not right.
And he successfully didn't take anyone from DC, I just want to point out.
I'm a Marvel guy.
Yeah, apparently. I'm going to need a ruling on this one. But, Mo, you have Batman, and I need to kind of go again. I got Joker, but I need one more side to kind of combat Batman. And I'm going to go to someone really, really close to my heart from the greatest Batman movie of all time to me. I'm going to take Andrea Beaumont, the Phantasm.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, Phantasm. So cool.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Fair game? She is in comics. Started in a movie, came in comics. Fair game?
I'd say that's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, she's a garbage pick, so yeah, I'll totally allow it. Sorry, buddy.
Once we're into these extra utility picks, I'll call the gloves were off. Somebody could have picked Baby Yoda.
Yeah, she to me, I know, Dark Knight is probably the best movie, but Phantasm is not too far behind. It's some of Paul Dini and Bruce Timm's best work.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic, and like the box office that it did, and kind of took the Batman animated series. I know she came in comics, but characters like her and Harley translated into the comics afterwards. You just don't see that really often anymore. So we go with the Phantasm. Nick, you got the last pick.
The last pick, hey?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of torn between two guys, and they were both written. The ones that I'm looking at were both written by Alan Moore. But I'm going to go with Miracle Man.
Good choice.
Good choice. Yeah, I like that.
I almost went Swamp Thing just because he's really cool.
I debated Swamp Thing too.
But I'm going to go Miracle Man.
Did you guys watch the Swamp Thing TV show when it was out? For what?
I didn't finish it.
It was pretty good. It was
Damn,
good.
He looked incredible.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is why is this getting canceled? This is like one of the first DC television shows that I liked.
It was, his suit was phenomenal, I thought.
The picture you sent, Mo, he looks pretty cool.
Solar? Oh, yeah. Like I say, that's who Dr. Manhattan's based on.
Right.
So.
All right, so here are the squads, and we'll have kind of a quick vote and kind of back and forth here. So we'll start with Nick's picks. Nick went with Spider-Man, the Green Goblin, Kyle Renner's Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Magneto, Zatanna, She-Hulk, Conan the Barbarian, Falcon, Professor X, Abe Saban, Petrilia, Mr. Sinister, and Miracle Man is Nick's picks. Josh's picks: Superman, Green Lantern, John Stewart, Spawn, Venom, Storm, Brainiac, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Darkseid, Huntress, Deadpool, Dr. Manhattan, Joker, and Phantasm. Then we have Andy, Wolverine, Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, obviously, Beta Ray Bill, the Beyonder, Jean Grey. By the way, Beta Ray Bill picked not Thor. Interesting.
Yeah. Actually, one more interesting non-pick was Lex Luthor, Josh. That's what I thought you were going to go for.
I was looking.
There's a lot that didn't go like that.
I was going to do Zod instead of Joker. That's where I was going.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I was looking at Zod and Ra's al Ghul. Those are the two I was deciding. Then I'm like, Joker's there. Someone has to take him.
I was surprised Black Panther didn't go. You know,
didn't go. Storm together. Apocalypse, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Daredevil, Black Widow, Galactus, Doctor Doom, Longshot, and the Living Tribunal. And then Mo, Thanos, Batman, Wonder Woman, Silver Surfer, the Hulk, Spectre, Shazam, Emma Frost, Falcon, Adam Warlock, Ultron, Anti-Monitor, Barry Allen's Flash, and
You got Falcon in there. Should have been Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight.
Mo came out swinging, eh? Those early picks from Mo, he was not messing around.
I'm in it to win it, bitches.
That started out tough. I'm like, wow. I had to scramble at the end and try to balance that out.
So
his first 4 picks were pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is going to be difficult to compete with now.
So I'm going to kind of go one by one really quickly. We'll start with you, Nick.
Okay.
How overall did you have the first pick? How overall do you feel about your team? What do you think your strengths are, your weaknesses are, kind of going against some of the comparative teams?
Well, now looking at it, I almost think my villains might be the weak point of the team. Like, I like Magneto a lot, but I'm looking at something like, I don't know. You got Apocalypse on one team. I mean, Doctor Doom was on my list, but I didn't take him. I'm going to say maybe villains are my weak link, but I think I got a couple of sleepers. Like, I was able to get away with Conan. I think Zatanna was a strong pick. I think Abe was a strong pick.
Well, Zatanna hurts me, right? That's a good pick against me because that hurts Soups.
It does, yeah. Magic doesn't work. He doesn't like magic, so.
No. Mo, what are you thinking about your squad? I mean, I'm really impressed with yours, obviously, like we all said.
Well, I think as far as like, if you were to pick a squad, I do think that mine is the best, but I did it at a sacrifice of some of my favorites. Like a lot of my favorite characters, like Blue Devil and Iron Fist and Luke Cage, those are the characters I really love the most, and I kind of, instead of picking them, went for the characters that I thought overall would be the coolest and biggest and splashiest to other people. So I'm like, I like my team from the fact that I think it is the best team, but I feel like I sold out my soul a little bit.
Andy.
You know what? I did. I think I like that I was able to kind of balance out personal favorites. You know, kind of like Mo was saying, like getting guys like Beta Ray Bill, Wolverine. I mean, those are the reasons that I liked comics as a kid. But once Mo got going there with his first 4 picks, I had to do some scrambling to make sure that I was going to have some bad guys that were going to be able to compete. But I'm with Josh. I would love to see an MCU film of just our 2 sets of 4 villains each go at it, because it would be a real Royal Rumble, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
I overall love my team. I think my team may be the most powerful when you really look at the combination of Manhattan, Superman, Spawn, Captain Marvel, Darkseid, Brainiac, and then Dr. Manhattan on top of it. I feel pretty confident that I could.
I'm pretty sure I counter every one of those easily.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good to match up with that too.
Yeah, I can say the same thing. I mean, at the end, I'm not. I mean, and adding Deadpool 2 I think is a nice addition there. Obviously with Joker, I think that I wanted Zod there, but you couldn't disrespect not having Joker on there. He's the best villain of all time. We couldn't leave him off the board, so that was more of a respect pick. And then at the end there, Phantasm, I was like, character that one I just went right for the heart. There I was going to go for something with the heart, so either a Phantasm, and I still was leaning Question, because Question I think is one of the more underrated characters of all time.
I love the Question.
Yeah,
Question's
he's a great
cool.
character.
Phantom Stranger, another great character that's just really cool. That so many of these obscure characters we just didn't get a chance to get to.
Well, so much. Thor was left off the board. Harley Quinn was left off the board. Zod, Ra's al Ghul was left off the board.
Yeah.
Sinestro was left off the board.
Hawkeye and Green Arrow.
Kingpin. I wanted Kingpin on my roster for non-powered.
Yeah.
Such a great drawn character during the Daredevil runs. It was just a great character.
Yeah,
I have to say, from like, if you were a comic book writer and you looked at these and you went, which one do I get to write and will have the most fun writing? I think that would be Nick's.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so. I think as far as like just that would be the most fun, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get some sort of obscured picks that would maybe get some jobs dropped, so. And hopefully picks that nobody else would think of, most importantly.
I think so, yeah.
I think we all did pretty good at finding those like personal favorites that everybody was like, whoa, what the hell?
Well, Longshot, that was a good pick. I thought Longshot was pretty interesting.
Zatanna was mine. I really wanted Zatanna, Nick.
I'm glad I snuck her in. Right before you got her, I'm glad I snuck in.
She's one of my
Mr.
favorites.
Mr. Sinister, I was mad at that. Mr. Sinister was by far. I had him locked down as my last bad guy. I was like, oh, come on.
To be honest, when I took Mr. Sinister, I was real close to just taking a character that who I've always thought is really cool and always been, in my eyes, like a little underrated. But Forge, I always thought Forge was really cool.
Very much. Yeah, big fan
Sinestro's,
of the X-Men series.
Sinestro's another one I'm surprised nobody picked.
Or
Yeah.
Beast.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
really, no Fantastic Four people went.
No.
No.
I mean, God, you would think even if once we got down to these cosmic, nobody took like a Richard Franklin.
No Doc Ock. No Carnage.
I should have picked Lobo.
Lobo.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that would have been real good, actually.
Solomon Grundy could have been a kind of back to the Hulk as well.
Yeah.
There's so many. I mean, not even Sinestro, who I'm a bad comic fan right
and
now.
Loki. Nobody picked Loki.
No one like Loki. Who's the Red Lantern? With the cat.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
He's badass. I've been reading some of the Lennon stuff, and he's awesome.
And nobody picked Guy Gardner.
No one picked Hal Jordan.
I know, it's crazy. Like there's so many off on the board.
I thought he would go.
I mean, you could do this draft with 10 people drafting the same number of characters, and it would still be an awesome draft. Like that's just how deep the characters are choosing from, right?
Dick Grayson, like so many great characters just left. It's really insane. But yeah, that said, I did win.
I think everyone pretty happy with how this went though overall.
Oh,
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was great.
Yeah, this is the first time that Andy and I have extended. I will ask you, Andy, are you happy kind of extending a little bit more, having a few other people?
Oh yeah, and this is the type of, I mean, when you're dealing with this many characters, that's what you want, right? You want as many people to be talked about and to have everybody's, and that, like I said, that was the reason why I love doing these drafted shows, is because all of the picks that we're making, like they all have a bit of a personal attachment to, I think, to each of us, and it's cool to get a group like this where the depth and the knowledge of different characters is there. And we all have these like personal attachments to some of the more of the fringe characters, right? I mean, like again, who thinks that you're gonna have Beta Ray Bill picked and Thor not?
Yeah, that's real true.
I forgot about Flash. When Mo picked Flash, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and Beta Ray was your third overall also, so I mean that was really
yeah,
cool.
you could have grabbed him easily, frankly, in the bonus rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but he was like, again, like for me, that's just such a cool character and somebody that I like so much. And again, kind of excited to hear, potentially now coming into the MCU, right? I mean, he's right there with Adam Warlock, right? I mean, to me, like those two characters are the next big cosmic characters that could be tied into that Guardians of the Galaxy storyline. So yeah, no, but that was, again, it was, we're all prioritizing guys that are important to us.
It's funny that as we're doing this, I just got this on my phone, this message from a buddy saying, have you seen all the comic book writers and creators out there? They're right now tweeting their dream matchups between Marvel and DC. Like it's become a thing for them. Yeah. So like Gail Simone's like Vision and Mr. Miracle, and things like that. Like
we didn't even pick Viz. Wow.
Yeah, that's perfect time. New Gods and Eternals.
I was tempted to throw Vision as a non-powered, because he's basically a robot. There's no powers in a robot.
You might have had a few.
Might have had words.
People disagreeing on that one.
Dissenting remarks would come though if I threw that out there that way.
Guardians of the Galaxies and Legion of Superheroes. That would be great.
No Guardians, by the way. No Gamora. No Drax. No Groot.
I thought Drax was going to go for sure. Or Rocket Raccoon, because he's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket is pretty cool.
No Lex, by the way, either. Any last remarks here? I'll start with you, Mo.
I'm just Catwoman and Black Widow matchups. Man, I wish they would make these comics. Sorry. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Now that we have our characters, now we'll go back and draft our creators to write them.
There you go. Jim Lee.
There we go.
Who would do all of us, if all of us had to pick one writer, who would we pick? We'll add that to the draft.
One writer. I would maybe go Loeb.
I'd go Alan Moore.
Yeah, good pick. Moore's good, but I've always liked Ennis and Loeb a whole lot, like what they do with the Long Halloween and all that for Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like how they can build up a bit of a mystery. So
I debated picking Sandman as one of my picks too later in the round, and I'd like the idea of his idea of kind of when he gets. I mean, Frank Miller's done it the same, but Alan Moore's idea of what he would do with having these overpowered heroes that I have with the one with Captain Marvel, with Superman, with Manhattan, and how he would use them. I'd be really interested.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Since I have Adam Warlock and Thanos and Silver Surfer, I'd be going with Jim Starlin. But,
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chris Claremont for me. Chris Claremont was
exactly.
Big for me, being an X-Men and the Spider-Man fan growing up. He was to me that's when those stories got really good.
Claremont is phenomenal. I pick up the old Uncanny X-Men from the 80s quite often lately, and man, they're just such a good read.
Yeah, and like I said, like that's the writer that kind of I look back to all the time. I mean, someone like Frank Miller obviously is huge too with Dark Knight, but yeah, Chris Claremont for me that's the magic zone right there for my comic book love.
And you know what? At the same time as he was doing some of that work, Louise Simonson was doing some work on like X Factor and stuff like that. And she's a really good writer nobody talks about. She's really underrated. She had a great run on Superman during the Death of stuff, and yeah. Anyways,
well, Kevin Smith did some awesome work there too with guys like Daredevil and Spider-Man too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a Batman run, which I didn't actually mind all that much. The Widening Gyre and Cacophony. I liked those books.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up there. Shouts to the Turtles.
It's getting nerdy now. When we start talking about
for all the best comic stuff, make sure you check out right here We Talk Comics, phenomenal podcast every week. You can find right here on We Talk Podcast with Mo and Brett and everyone. The great stuff that they bring there at We Talk Podcast. Quick plug and goodbye to everyone. We'll get you at the end, Mo. Andy, you do the stuff with me, so you got nothing to plug. We got good stuff coming.
I'm stuck with you.
Yeah, you're stuck with me and no real sports podcasts and making up stuff. Tune into the Ocho on April 1st. Great podcast coming with the NBA podcast on April 1st. Nick, anything for you to plug?
Nah, nothing for me to plug, but can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
With all the lists that we have, is there any chance you're going to maybe put these on a head-to-head kind of battle on Instagram or Twitter?
This pod we either do a trivia pod or a drafted pod every Saturday with Fresh Take, and so this will be dropped on Saturday, and it'll have each individual list of the teams with a poll on the Fresh Take Instagram of who should win.
Oh, dig it! Oh, I dig it.
Yeah. And yeah, you can find some great, at least in the archives of tonight's lineup from Nick, and follow their Instagram. At least with that right now, Instagram, the tonight's lineup Instagram is a fun follow of the Avengers they have. And then Mo.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
I mean, got the comic going on. You're our fearless leader.
The big thing for us, the big thing We Talk right now is we just been pumping out the We Talk music like almost twice a day. We're pumping out interviews with different musicians and stuff like that. Everybody's home, so everybody has time to talk. We're hoping to line up the biggest interview we've ever had next week. I probably shouldn't say the name because it isn't confirmed yet, though I think it's going to happen for sure.
Tell us off there.
Sure. No, well, I'll just give you a little hint, and if I say he sang the words "Pour some sugar on me," so.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be coming your way next week on We Talk Music.
Very interesting.
I think the big question that all of the guys like you and I should ask Josh is, what did Mo think of this? Like, he's the boss. We got to make sure that he approved of what was our performance today.
I had a blast. Yeah, all of you were good except for Josh.
The fucking worst.
I'm always that's what I do. I talk trash, right?
Yeah, you do. He lets me know every expo how ugly I am.
Well, I mean, come on.
But especially Devin. He lets Devin know how ugly Devin is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's that guy. Man, what happened? Who ran over his face?
Oh, my God.
Times are tough.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to Drafted. Like I said, every Saturday we either have a trivia pod or a drafted pod on Fresh Take. Everyone, thanks for listening. You can find it everywhere: Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, title, whatever. It's all over the place. Until next time, everyone, cheers and enjoy the game. Andy, that's where you're supposed to say bye-bye.